This is the 2014 Jaguar F-Type, the long-awaited Jaguar F-Type. The reason I say that, not only have we been hearing about this vehicle for several years, but it's been quite a long time since Jaguar's had a true sports car. Actually, it goes all the way back to 1974. That's when the previous generation, or E-Type, went out of production. So that's a long hiatus, but I gotta tell you, it's worth the wait. When it comes to sports cars, I think it's all about the rear end, and what I like what Jaguar's done with the F-Type is they've given it this kind of Coke bottle look, as they call it, which basically means kind of narrow at the front, kind of widens up, and then tapers off in the back. And if you were to see an aerial view of this car, you'd know what I mean, and it looks great. Now, when you look back here, actually this is one of the few places you can tell if it's a V8 or a V6. If you see quad exhaust, it's a V8. If you see dual, it's a V6, and man, these things sound great. But I really like what they've done. The taillights are very distinctive, kind of remind me of the old BMW Z8. Obviously, it doesn't cost as much as a Z8, but certainly handles as well, if not better. They say that any car can be defined with 3 lines. In the case of the F-Type, it's such a simple, elegant design that all it takes are 2 lines. You essentially have this line down here and the line up top over here. And when you look at this from a distance, you see what I mean. The car kind of looks like it's in motion even when it's standing still. And of course, we come to the front, which is very important. You have this big, bold Jaguar grille, and you have these day running lights that are kind of shaped like a J. They're very distinctive because when you look in your rear view mirror, you know what's coming. It's the all-new F-Type. What's a good-looking sports car without a great engine under the hood? And Jaguar has certainly delivered with the F-Type. We essentially have 2 different engines, but 3 different horsepowers. I'll explain. In order to get to a good entry-level price point of around $70,000, we have a base 3-liter V6 supercharged, producing 340 horsepower. Then you move up to the V6S, which produces 380 horsepower. And then you have this. This is the top of the line F-Type. It has a V8 engine, supercharged, producing 495 horsepower and making a sound that you can hear from a mile away. Jaguar put a lot of effort into the F-Type. There's really nothing to compare it to because it is the first generation F-Type. And they really went through great lengths. They have little things like these climate control buttons. They actually serve dual purpose. As you can see, they're little digital readouts inside, but when you push it, you can change the temperature of the seat. Of course, you've got your traditional navigation screen that you see in pretty much every Jaguar Land Rover product. So one of the little, I guess, gimmicky things that Jaguar put in here, which I think is kind of cool, is that they can make these vents go away. So when they're on, as you can see, they're very visible. You turn them off, and they can seal down nicely. So a little nice touch. This bar is also something that is very unique to the F-Type. It's designed to give the driver a very sporty feel. So it's almost like I have my own cockpit here and the passenger has their own. Now, I will say this, the driver's side has a lot more room than the passenger side, so keep that in mind. Other than that, great job on the gauges. It's a very thoughtful interior. What I really like are these copper paddle shifters, as well as this copper start-stop button, this very aircraft-oriented button to get you into snow mode or into dynamic mode is also made of copper. So they've done a lot of things to kind of make this vehicle stand out. You know, when you're selling a $70,000 to $105,000 vehicle, you're in that Porsche range and other very exotic cars. You really have to have some unique design elements, and I think Jaguar's done a good job with the F-Type. It's easy to see that Jaguar is a car company committed to building a great sports car, and I think they've done that with the F-Type. The steering is great. It's also very configurable through the computer system in the vehicle. Braking is great. You know, the V8 weighs about 115 pounds more, and it gets larger brakes. You certainly need that if you take it on the track, as you saw. Handling is good, but the only real complaint as far as a daily driver is it's a little bit noisy. A lot of road noise and a lot of wind noise.